Hello, this is Shane Thomas from ShaneThomasMusic.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to easily memorize lyrics. This is a question I get quite often. And people always ask me, how do you remember all those words to those songs? And so I would like to make a video to give you my tips and the strategies and techniques that I use to learn the lyrics to songs and so I can sing them. Hopefully this video will benefit any singer-songwriter, any singer, any actor, actresses. If you love poetry and you do poetry readings, maybe it can help you there too. But here's some strategies that I use. Today, or how this came about, was my buddy, he wanted me to sing a duet with him, record Two of Us by the Beatles. And so that's kind of why the time is now to kind of, I was doing, learning this song. I was like, all right, this is a good time to show a simple song that doesn't have too many lyrics, but the structure and the tips and techniques can be used for any song. So we're going to be using the Beatles Complete Chord Songbook. I got a deal at Half Price Books, y'all, $9.99. All these wonderful classic songs in there and all these words for $9.99. Are you kidding me? Man. So the song is Two of Us by the Beatles. And here's some, hopefully these tips and techniques will help you out if you want to know how to memorize lyrics better. So this is how I do it. So first of all, we take the song as a whole. And so what I mean is, basically, I want to see the bigger picture, the big picture, the song holistically as an entire composition. All right, so why I do that or want to do that, I want to see how many verses there are, how many choruses there are. Do the choruses repeat? If so, how many times do they repeat? And usually the chorus is the catchy part of the song a lot of times that it's very memorable. And so if you can remember that most pop songs, the chorus repeats 2 or 3 times at least. So if you can remember the lyrics to those choruses or that chorus, then you get a nice chunk of the song already memorized, because most pop songs 2 to 3 minutes long, so that takes up a substantial portion of that. So if I know the choruses or know how many choruses there are, I usually start with those first. Those are easy to memorize. Then I see how many verses there are. In this case, there's 4 verses. Some of them are pretty similar. So that's what I'm dealing with. In some songs, the verses repeat. There's a verse that repeats, like the first verse will be repeated in the third verse. So the third verse, basically, if you remember the first verse, you can do the third verse. So it's very easy to memorize, typically. And then in this particular case, we have a bridge. So a bridge is a unique piece of the song that doesn't sound like the verse or the chorus. And in this case, it repeats twice, the bridge does. So when I'm looking at it as a whole, I want to know how many verses, how many choruses, and if it applies, if it has a bridge. In this case, it's kind of unique because the bridge repeats twice. Usually bridges only repeat once. So I got it as a whole. So now I want to take it section by section. And here are my techniques to take it section by section. That is, first, write down the lyrics. There is something about, I'm not a scientist or a psychologist, so I don't know why this happens, but it's true. I mean, you can look it up, and it's worked in my case. Physically handwrite these lyrics down. Somehow they get ingrained in you. You kind of get a bit better picture, a more clear picture of the lyrics as you're writing them down. So definitely take the time. I know it's easy in this day and age to print off some lyrics from the internet or to have some sheet music there, but we're trying to develop this mind and help your memory out and help you get these lyrics ingrained so you can perform better. You don't want your attention, you want your attention on your audience, not on these lyrics on an iPad or a piece of paper, and it takes away from the performance, from the audience. So write them down. Just want to look at it. This isn't Beowulf. Not too many lyrics. So as I'm writing them down, here's another little tip. It may sound silly, it might sound ridiculous, but it works. This is another research memory technique. Create some images of these lyrics. You can get into the interpretation later, but we want to memorize these lyrics first. Create some images. And here's the most ridiculous part or outrageous thing. You might think I'm crazy, but it works. So I don't care if I'm crazy, if it works, if it helps me remember a lot of lyrics, then so be it. The more crazy, ludicrous, absurd picture and images you can make with these words, the more the more apt you are to remember them. So as you're writing these lyrics down, make some crazy images. So let's use the song as an example. The first verse, two of us riding nowhere. That's the first line, spending someone's hard-earned pay. In my mind, I picture riding in a car with my friend, my buddy, who I'm going to perform the song with, the duet with. We got a bag full of cash from somebody else. It's not our cash, but we're going to spend it. So I remember, that's how I remember that. It's on a Sunday because this next line, you and me Sunday driving, we're in a car, the bag of cash is behind us. That's not ours. That's somebody else's hard-earned pay. We're Sunday driving. The next line, not arriving on our way home. We break down on the highway on a Sunday with somebody else's hard-earned pay of cash in the back seat. So we broke down on the highway on our way back home. That's the chorus. We're on our way home. We're on our way home. We're going home. But remember, we're broke down on the side of the road. All right? So right immediately, I got verse 1 and I got chorus 1. Those are my images for that. Next verse, verse 2. Two of us sending postcards. All right, we're broke down on the side of the highway. We don't have nowhere to go. We're trying to get home. We're trying to be on our way home. So we're writing postcards. We're sending postcards. We're putting stamps on it. And then we're writing letters on the wall of the car. That's the next line, writing letters on my wall. I could physically see my buddy putting stamps on postcards, getting ready to mail them out. I'm writing letters on my wall of my car that's broken down on the side of the road on a Sunday. You and me burning matches. So now we start lighting up. We're getting bored. We're waiting on the tow truck. We light up the matches. We're burning matches. And then there's a small fire and it starts getting smoky. So we're trying to get out of the car. We're lifting latches of the door, the locks of the door to get out on our way back home. We're repeating the chorus. So if you remember the chorus from the first time, all you got to do is repeat it. Okay, so now I got verse 1, I got chorus 1, I got verse 2, burning matches, lifting latches. Repeat the chorus. Now here's our first bridge. You and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. So in my mind, we just got done burning matches, trying to get out of this car that I wrote letters on the wall of. I lifted the latch, get out of the car, it's smoky. Me and my buddy start laughing. They're like, oh my gosh, we're going to look back on this. These are some crazy memories right here. And then we're looking down the highway that we just broke down on. It's longer than the road that stretches out ahead. Because I know I have a lot of memories with this guy. And this is adding to that. So longer than the memories, or you and I have memories, me and my buddy, that's longer than the road that stretches out ahead. That highway that we're broken down on. So now we got verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2, bridge, the first bridge. Next one, it starts raining. We're standing on the highway. We go back in the trunk of my car. We get raincoats, but the sun is still out. So verse 3, two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun. That's the first two lines of verse 3, okay? Then the money that was in the back of our car, the sack of cash in the back of our car, is now starting to blow away. So we're wearing raincoats, standing in the sun. It's still raining, even though it's sunny. Now we're chasing paper, money, around the highway, and we're trying to get nowhere. We're getting nowhere on our way back home. Then it repeats the chorus again. It repeats the bridge again. So those mental images, just keep ingraining them. And then in verse 4, two of us wearing raincoats, standing solo in the sun, you and me chasing paper, getting nowhere on our way back home. So that's how the story ends, folks. That's how the song ends. In 10 minutes, probably, however long it takes to record this video, I just remembered this Beatles song. From crazy mental images, taking it section by section, but first starting to see how much the song as a whole. All right? And the last tip is repeat. Keep replaying these mental images. Keep reciting these verses. And I guarantee you will easily learn and memorize lyrics. If you can see the song as a whole, take it section by section. Create crazy, absurd mental images that goes nonsensical images that go along with these verses, and keep practicing. Till next time, Shane Thomas, ShaneThomasMusic.com. Take care.